you for joining us for another Wednesday Wanderings. It's going to be our last one for 2021. So, with that being said, I wanted to make sure I had at least one of my tour hosts with me. Um, we had invited Nancy. She had some other obligations, and unfortunately, Jean is just lives too far away for her to come down and visit with us and all of you. But we just wanted to kind of review our year. Thank you to all of you who traveled with us. I think you had a fabulous group. I think all of them were.
Fantastic group. We went to Salem by way of Boston and couldn't have had a better group, couldn't have better weather. Had a few little quirky things, but that's the mystery of being bewitched and going to Salem, Massachusetts.
There you go. And that was the great attitude that helped that trip kind of pull off okay. I will say, from my standpoint here in the office, that was the most challenging tour we had of the entire year because it seemed every month something changed in that tour. Clear up to just a week before you left is when Niagara Falls announced that they were closing for the season the day before you got there. So it was bewitched, as you said, from the beginning, but I think everyone made the best, and
we had a great time, great weather, the trees were beginning to turn. When we were in Salem, I've never seen so many witches walking the streets. And for being in the middle of a pandemic, we did fine. And we had so much fun.
And I heard so much about the Jack-o'-lantern spectacular. That seemed to be a big highlight.
Amazing to see large pumpkins hung from trees, lit up, and walking underneath all those. It was a great start to getting toward the East Coast. So
cool. Glad to hear that. So some of the other tours that went this year was Cape Cod in June. That is one that Jean had hosted. I know people came back from that one just excited as could be. That was our true first tour of 2021 since our mystery tour in March of 2020. So, in fact, and we had Sheila and Pam on a Wednesday Wondering. They were on that tour. And I think that was one where they had so much fun and such a great time that they decided they had to find another one to go on in 21. And they did, which brings us down to Branson. That was the tour they went on. Did you hear anything about Branson?
I've heard great things. I've heard from especially one person who'd never been to Branson, can't wait to go back and to take her husband this time. And they plan to go in the summer, and then they also plan to go again next year on the Christmas trip.
Awesome. That's really good. It makes me think of my mom. She and my dad used to go to Branson. They would camp down in what is now Branson Landing with City Park. And so they would go for at least a week every year. And my mom saying to my dad, there has to be somewhere else on earth besides Branson, Missouri, because they had gone there probably 7 years in a row. And so we laugh because we think there's surely no one left in the world who has not yet been to Branson, but there are some out there. So yeah. Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, that was one that was very colorful and beautiful. Again, I think they had a great time. They did a lot of other things besides the Balloon Fiesta. Dawn Patrol, I heard, was totally awesome.
And it was such a coincidence. I happened to be listening to the radio, and they were there at the Dawn Patrol in Albuquerque, and I'd forgotten that we had a tour out there. They were talking about the Dawn Patrol, which means at dawn, the balloons go up, and they're lit up so they glow in the just the early morning, and it is beautiful. I've seen an evening glow, but nothing in the morning at sunrise.
And
to come back and say, Carla, we need to do this sometime, and she said, we just did.
That's right.
That was fun. That was fun.
The only sad part, which Mother Nature, again, is one of those things you don't mess with Mother Nature. She decided to be a little windy that day, so they didn't get to do the mass ascension. But you know what? That's another reason to go back. So that is something we'll do somewhere down the future, is back to Albuquerque. You know, that's kind of one of the things, too. We do some of these tours, and when people come home, they're so excited and had so much fun that they talk it up to all of their friends, which I love that they do. But then we start getting people calling, like, when are you going back? And that's the hard part. There's only so many days in the year and so many months in the calendar, but we'll work them in here eventually. Um, let's see. I think the other one we need to talk about was the Mighty Five. That was the Mighty Five is one of those tours that I always love. It is just absolutely gorgeous. The landscape just keeps changing, and it's hard to think. You know, that's the thing about the United States. I've always said that the diversity of the landscape
right.
and the scenery is just amazing. You know, I love going overseas. I love visiting different countries, but in reality,
There's
the United
so much
States
here.
has it all beat. There's so much here. You're so right. We did a few little day tours, not too many. It was very hard coming up with places to be able to go for a day tour with all this COVID and theaters closed and whatnot. But we pulled off going to uh, the Celebration Bell. Sorry, I lost
Yes.
my train of thought there. Celebration Bell. That's always a fun, great trip. In fact, we have 3 planned for next year. We'll talk about those a little later, but you always start the morning off there with warm sticky rolls and fresh fruit. So that's a great start to any day, right? And they have a fabulous lunch buffet there. And of course, there's always live entertainment and the scenery. So lots of fun things to do. It's just a relaxing day on the river. Who doesn't like that?
That's right.
So, and our one mystery tour that we pulled off was in November. It was a day tour, and it was one of those situations where all of my tour hosts were busy and weren't able to do it. So I thought, yay, I get to go on a tour this year. I was so excited until I was not feeling well the day before and was worried I didn't want to potentially make anyone ill. So thank you to Mark. He stepped in and saved the day. So it was such a mystery, you didn't even know who the tour host was going to end up being. But I think it turned out great. It was a good thing for him just to kind of get away from the office and do some things that were fun and mingle with the people, and everyone had a great time. And we went to Dubuque, did some of the offbeat things in Dubuque, but I think it came out well. So
And you have a mystery tour planned for 2022?
we do. It is finally done, everyone, and ready to roll. It is April 25th through the 28th. Our brochure flyer is ready. You're gonna be shocked. There's actually a few little clues on it this time. You know, I've never ever given any form of clues whatsoever, but times change, and
I was reading, I was guessing,
you were far off.
I couldn't get anything to say yes.
And I think, try as you may, I will be very shocked if someone can
Yes.
figure it out. But you never know. There might be that person out there. So again, it's April 25th through the 28th. It's ready for reservations. I know a lot of you have been asking about it, so just give a call and we'll get you added on there. But 2022, there's lots to look forward to. We're kicking off in February. We've got a group of, I believe, 12 or 13 folks going to Costa Rica. You know, we're going to be very jealous of them.
Especially if it's snowing and cold here.
And I think that's the situation. The weather's been so great right now. Of course, my farm boy husband listens to Ag Day and all those shows, and I was watching too, and they're predicting, you know, it's calm now and good, but it's gonna hit hard in like mid-January, February, even into that March area. So kudos to those who are going to that tropical climate, or we'll be a little jealous. Outer Banks in North Carolina, that's in March. Have you ever?
I've been there for one day, but I didn't stay long. And that looks like a great tour, a wonderful tour.
Yeah, that's one I would love to participate in as well. I just think it'd be so cool to see the wild ponies out on the beaches. But there's a lot packed into that. And the beauty of that too, to me, is you're going to experience spring twice. I love spring. Fall's my favorite, but I love spring. So you'll get to have spring there on the coast and then come back to the Midwest and start all over and have another spring. So I've got a fabulous group going to Ireland.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I know several of them.
Yeah, and very many excited people to go. So that will be towards the end of March into April. So far, I've had some calls. Everything's still a go. So.
And I'm jealous. I've been to Ireland, to Southern Ireland. They're going to Northern Ireland including, and it'll be a great trip.
It will. It will. I've been fortunate to do this tour in the past, although I'm really excited because this time I'm hoping to enjoy a little bit more of the tour. Last time was when the volcanoes in Iceland
Oh, that's
were
right. You were
erupting.
stuck.
And
That's right.
we were fortunate with they started flying the day we were to come home, so we lucked out. Luck of the Irish. So
There you go.
DC,
Mhm.
cherry blossom time, beautiful. I just can't say enough about the beauty of the cherry blossoms. I would do want to say on that one, um, I believe there's maybe 5 seats left, and that is it. It will
Better
be
hurry.
a sold out tour. Um,
And for the parade, we have
reserved
reserved
seating.
seats.
We do. There is a little change up in the reserved seating though, because times change. But I believe most of my people, I think everyone has been vaccinated. But in the reserved section where the televised part will be, we will have to show our vaccination card. If you are not vaccinated, you can still go. You can still see the parade. Your seating will just be down a little bit further from that area. So, again, things
That would be
constantly
a
change.
beautiful trip to go.
It is. The Amish, have you,
I did the Amish quilt.
gardens,
Gardens
yes.
a couple, 3 years ago. And coming back from Salem and Boston, we stopped at the bakery and we went through a lot of the farm grounds and we went
Right.
through a lot of things. And so that would be another good trip to go on.
It is. So if you've done some of our Amish tours with Diane and the others, we are actually expanding it. We are visiting the Amish in Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
And so it'll be nice to kind of compare the
Nice, uh-huh.
different ways. You'll have a meal in Amish homes in each of those locations. So I'd like to hear the come back as
That
to
would
who
be fantastic.
who had the best whatever. So I'm excited for that tour. And that is another one. It is over half full. It's probably right at 2/3 full at this time. So
Excellent.
if it's something you're wanting to do, don't hesitate. Definitely don't hesitate. So day trips, don't have too many. Again, still in that limbo land, but we do have 3 Circa 21s, and who doesn't love going to Circa? We'll be seeing Beauty and the Beast, Tribute to Cher, which I think
That
will
would
be
be
phenomenal.
fantastic.
Yep. And White Christmas. And then Celebration Bell. We've got 3 set up for that. So I believe they start in July, which is Hits of the Decades is the entertainment. It'd be music from the 50s on up. Then we have in August, and that one is called Piano Men. So if you like the piano music, then that would be a great one for you to participate in. And then in September, hopefully we got some color. It's called Country Hits of the Decades. So I know it's boom, 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 but
Hey, it's time to get on the road again.
you bet we're going to make hay while the sun shines. So, anything else you'd like to add, Diane?
No, but just come along. I know you guys are anxious just as well as we are as tour hosts to get back out, and we want to see you. We've missed you. Didn't know that I would miss you this much, but I have missed you.
And it's fun because I get lots of phone calls and 2 or 3 of our passengers in particular who keep saying, "Oh, we miss you guys so much," and they have gone, but they still miss us. So that's nice to hear. I do want to let you know, with the holidays coming up, we are just going to not have walk-ins available to our Division Street office from December 24th through January 17th. The phones will still all be manned. You can make calls in, you can make your reservations, you can get your brochures. The reason we're doing this is one, holidays, but it's time for the annual
Yay!
American Bus Association conference. And I'll be attending that. It's exciting because that's where I get to meet with all the different venues, different hotels and lodgings, the CVBs, the DMOs. Those I know are terms that not all of you are familiar with, but it helps me get ready to plan for 2023. And I am excited to get going
And
for
get to know what's
2023.
new out there, and the people are
Exactly.
waiting for us to show up, I'm sure.
They
so.
are. They definitely are. So excited to go do that and get back and get started in some great planning. The other thing I want to mention then is obviously Wednesday Wonderings will also be on a short hiatus. So we'll start those back up. Most likely, I'm guessing the 19th of January. If not, then it'll be the 26th. So we're excited to come back in January, let you know what happened to ABA, what we've got in the works, and get you signed up for some great 2022 tours. So in the meantime, Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas!
And here's to 22.